welcome back to my YouTube channel.
I can't help Hi, Virgo! I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes.
So, for today mga chobs, we are going to do something that most of you requested on the comment section as always, because I am going to give you, as always, what you all wanted. So most of you in the comment section told me that Casual Shock has produced another documentary, which is called SB19 Story Episode 1 Soundbreak. Actually, I really admire the fact that Casual Shock, which is very known already around the reaction world, as we can say, the fact that he is helping SB19 to be known all over the world, for the world to know more about their stories, to where did they come from, to what their struggles were. And that's why, wag na nating patagalin pa mga chops, because I am really curious of what this documentary is all about. Kaya, wag na nating patagalin pa mga chops. Let us start this.
Disclaimer, this video is only based on my personal research. I might miss some details and it's possible to have discrepancies, but I did my best to get as much accurate information as possible, so enjoy! This is called Triple, a group of talented performers and comedians from Korea you've probably never heard of. They were formed back in 1994 when the word K-pop hasn't even been invented. In 2002, one of the members made the biggest mistake of his life, which will change the entire course of P-pop history.
SB19 Soundbreak.
Do you remember this song?
What's Josh? It has the same rhythm.
It all started with this man, Jong Song-han. When he left the trio in 2002 to become an entrepreneur, Cult Triple became Cult 2. Most of their fans definitely thought that Song-han's decision was a huge mistake because the remaining members started racking up different awards in the entertainment industry. If he only stuck around, he would have gotten those awards too. But this man's decision was final. He used all of his savings to build an event organizing company called Show BT Entertainment.
Okay.
Yep, I'm talking about Tatang Robin. Tatang noticed how passionate Filipino fans were during the rise of K-pop, so he wanted to organize K-pop concerts and events that promote Korean and Filipino culture. To make that happen, he needed entertainers, a group of young people that will be part of the package of their service as an event organizer. We are talking about people who can do dancing, singing, and even act as servants.
So this is all how it started. Okay.
Waiting tables and assisting guests. So he held an audition and hundreds of young talents applied. 30 of them passed as trainees. They were then called Nara, which in Korean means country and is the national tree of the Philippines. They went to multiple events together, including the fan meeting event of the K-pop group called Off-Road.
I can't find, baby, baby, 'cause you're my lady. 널 향한
After numerous events, Tatang Robin saw something special when it comes to Filipino talent. He realized that some of his trainees are too talented to just end up as small-time performers. So he decided to launch the
So it wasn't actually for them to it wasn't really actually planned for them to be big stars, just like for them to perform on small stages lang
first
pala.
P-pop boy group that underwent strict Korean-type training. Out of the 30 trainees, only few have made it.
That is why they are very disciplined. Kaya makikita mo sa performance nila that yung mga movements nila sobrang disciplined, yung mga voices nila sobrang stable pa rin. Even if they're doing very hard choreographies, their voices are still stable. That is why, because they're managed by a Korean company.
Gian Paolo Nase. He always wanted to be a performer. As a young dreamer, he joined several competitions as a soloist and also a member of the K-pop dance cover group called PHP. As a trainee, he was the guy who shows up early and leaves late despite juggling a full-time job as a data analyst to provide for his.
That is what I actually watched from the Kwentuhan, episode 5 and 6, that that Pablo was actually juggling between his work and between their practices.
Family. He was the first one selected due to his undeniable diligence and leadership qualities. He is known to have critically acclaimed songwriting ability, a badass rapper.
It's just like RM, because RM also is the one who writes BTS's songs and also Suga, and RM is also the leader of BTS.
Was often dubbed as a genius, but he consistently denied it because he claimed to be just a hard worker. This made him the destined leader of the group. He debuted.
Actually, he's very down to earth. But if you look at his works and also how he writes his song, he's actually a genius. Sobrang galing niya magsulat. Talagang makaka-relate ka dun sa mga sinusulat niya at mararamdaman mo kung ano yung gusto niya iparating.
Now that the methodical leader is chosen, they needed more members. Tatang Robin just got a genius composer in Pablo, so they needed someone who can dance. And this next guy is exactly that. And even more. Stelvester Ahero. He was only 16 when he started competing as a dancer while studying. He was a born winner despite growing up as a bullied kid. He made performing his escape from the harsh reality of the world.
Yeah,
he
he
did
said
a
that
great
at
job
21,
channeling the negative
26.
aspect of his life and converting it by winning multiple K-pop dance cover competitions with his group Saeon. He is also a hard worker. He was teaching dance.
He actually has a picture with BTS, him and Josh.
To kids while competing. There was a point when he worked too hard that it threatened his life due to poor health. He is a very skilled choreographer. In fact, he's the main culprit behind most of SB19's snappy and amazingly synchronized dance routines. But little did they know that dancing wasn't even his only talent. He easily became the main heavenly voice of the group because his vocals were just
I'm still on your side.
out of this world. He debuted as Stel, the main vocalist, the lead dancer, and choreographer of the group.
There you go.
Josh Cullen Santos became homeless at the age of 16 and it
Actually, dun kay Stel, he seems like J-Hope because J-Hope is actually the choreographer of BTS. But he is a rapper, not a lead singer.
was his decision. He's had the worst childhood among the other members. From growing up in a toxic environment to being physically abused as
Actually, I haven't watched his vlog yet about what has happened to him in the past because I'm still not yet ready mentally. But one of these days, I will do it.
a kid by their nanny. At an early age, he witnessed what it feels like to be a member of a middle-class family that went rock bottom in just a matter of months. He experienced getting evicted from apartments to smaller rooms. It came to a point where his family had nothing to eat but ketchup and salt. They had no permanent address. Because of that, Josh and his sister dropped out of school multiple times, so they got bullied at school for being repeaters. Sometimes he would get into fistfights for defending her. Josh had enough of this, so he took matters into his own hands by leaving. He became independent and started working as an internet cafe attendant. Using his own income, he took the alternative learning system and was able to finish his high school degree. He clearly had no background in performing.
But actually, on his when you see him on their interviews, he's really actually very intelligent, especially in how he responds on the questions that they're giving them. Sobrang galing niya mag-handle ng mga interviews.
Not until he
He
met
reminds me of Suga. Why? Because I know it's like but he reminds me of Suga because that is what also Suga On a young age, he came from a very poor family also. He encountered an accident when he was delivering foods ata yun. And that's why he was afraid that he would be let go from the group because nga dun sa incident na nangyari.
New friends from the dance community, which led to him meeting Stell and Seyoung. They became co-members and went on to win numerous K-pop dance cover competitions all over Asia. They even met BTS during one of their winning runs in Korea.
There you go.
In a way, Josh was saved by Stell after trying so hard to save himself. And it paid off because after training, Josh ended up debuting as the lead rapper and dancer of the group. Justin the Joss didn't have to audition. Apparently, he was a very good-looking guy that when he joined a talent workshop as a teenager, Show BT immediately took notice and offered him to become a trainee to improve his singing and dancing skills. He was one of the late joiners, and when he did, he immediately saw a familiar face in Josh.
You look familiar.
Apparently, the two had a stint in performing together in a K-pop dance cover group called Zero to Hero.
Hey, welcome to my world next door this. 일슈자주 길어보면서 언젠가는 분위기가 higher 비행기 밖은 너무 시끄러워.
That's what BTS also did before they debuted. They were actually backup dancers before.
So Justin as well wasn't new in the world of performing. He auditioned to be a part of the televised Pinoy boy band Superstar show, but he didn't even make it to the live auditions. Perhaps it was fate. He didn't have great singing skills at the time. It was only when he became a trainee that he improved astoundingly in the vocal department. He went on to finish his college degree in multimedia arts while training, which earned him a skill in filmmaking. He then got selected to debut as the main visual, the sub-vocalist, and the creative director of the group. He was the
Like
would-be
JK.
director.
Because even JK before, he was actually the one being nililigawan siya ng mga companies because he's really as talented even before.
Behind the record-breaking Peep
And he was the director of Life Goes On, the music video.
Pop music video, What, and more. But that's a story for another video. At this point, Show BT seemed to have completed the group. 4 members in a K-pop group, a nice even number. 2 rappers and 2 vocalists. They were perfectly balanced, but they felt like something was missing. Perhaps someone was missing. Someone who could take this already great group of guys and push them to achieve the next level, the extraordinary level. Someone so naturally gifted that he could stand out in the presence of the already talented group of young artists. This venture that Tatang Robin took needed an apex, so he started the online auditions. When Josh heard about it, he was like, I know a guy. Philip John Suson is such a specimen. He was so naturally gifted that excelling in sports looked like a walk in the park for him. He grew up in the church under the care of his grandparents. He was an artistic kid, so he was active as an editorial cartoonist in school.
That's why when I told you that, if you watched my reaction video of Philip's Palayo music video sa Wishwas, I told you that he reminds me of JK because he's the golden magne where he can do anything. That's why, this is why. They are the same.
Nobody taught him to play musical instruments. He taught himself by just listening to the music.
That's why it shows the best bias, diba? Shut up.
So he ended up becoming a southpaw guitarist, but he later fixed it as he learned more. He didn't even know that he could dance until he was forced to in order to get good grades during their school interns. After discovering dance, he transformed from a guy who didn't know it to someone who can fly. Because of his raw talent, he ended up teaching dance to the entire school and continued on to form a K-pop dance cover group called Amigo 7. Apparently, his group gave Josh's group so much trouble during their early competitions because they were very good rivals. So he decided to recruit him. But Philip was hundreds of islands away and didn't have the money. What did Josh do? He shelled out for his plane ticket. With nothing else to lose, Philip went and left his previous life in the countryside. He then trained with the boys and officially debuted with them as Ken. the main dancer, the bass vocalist, and the lead rapper of the group.
And
One
I
thing to
don't
note
want.
is that they were an unlikely bunch because they wouldn't have met each other if Tatang Robin stayed with his
Yeah,
already
true.
successful group in Korea. Justin failed his first audition, so he didn't even bother to audition again because he thought he wasn't ready. And Josh wouldn't have attempted to recruit Ken if Show BT's training program didn't even exist. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the butterfly effect. When a small and seemingly insignificant occurrence has a rippling effect through time, leading to a consequential event sometime long after the initial event, or as Google would put it, a phenomenon whereby a minute localized change in a complex system can have a large effects elsewhere. Tatang Robin's so-called mistake back in 2002 led to forming the future P-pop Kings. In 2018, SB19 was formed. The name of the group was carefully picked. The number 19 is the sum of Korea and the Philippines area code digits 82 and 63. So 8 plus 2 plus 6 plus 3 is 19. SB doesn't only mean Show BT. It is all about their ultimate goal for Pinoy sound to break into the music industry, which is fearlessly represented by this praise. Soundbreak.
So that is why I don't know if you understand. I'm not comparing them. I'm just stating similarities because I am explaining to you the reason why I like this group, because it reminds me of what BTS has passed through also. Because if you just give a chance to know what happened to BTS also, you will see they had a really good similarities of what they've been through. I like this documentary of Casual Talk because it really opens your mind on what happened to them from the very start, from what they came from the beginning until to now. So I can't wait to watch this next episode of Casual Talks documentary. So, medyo napahaba ata ito aking video, but it's okay. That is it for this vlog, mga chubs. As always, mga chubs, if you like this video, please don't hesitate to click the like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And we will see each other again, hopefully, on my next vlogs. Bye!
Why you blushing? Sweet concussion. Oh, you miss my touching.